What's up, everybody? I'm Brian. Welcome to another episode of Playing Around. For those who don't know, this is a show where we talk about some nerdy news going on in the video game space and others, as well as you guys being able to watch some gameplay in the background. And today we actually got a fair amount of news today, so let's get started. The first is by Polygon, and it's from Allegra Frank, and it says, Nintendo wanted Goldeneye sequel and less violence, says developer. Goldeneye 007, Rare's James Bond adaptation and N64 multiplayer mainstay, could have not only had a sequel, but been a bit tamer had Shigeru Miyamoto had his way, according to a member of the first-person shooter's design team. Designer Martin Hollis talked about working with Nintendo over the weekend at Game City 2015 in Nottingham, UK. Hollis explained that the depiction of violence in GoldenEye was initially more graphic than the final game. We had beautifully rendered gore that would explode out, he said. When I saw it the first time, I thought it was awesome. It was a fountain of blood. Then I thought, this might be a bit too much red. This was a cause of concern for Rare and its publisher Nintendo, which Hollis considered to be family friendly. Miyamoto himself reached out to the developer by fax, that should tell you how long ago this was, to express his desire for the game to tone down its body count. One point that Miyamoto made was that there was too much close-up killing. He found it a bit too horrible, Hollis shared, noting that the team chose not to take the suggestion. In addition, he felt the game was too tragic with all the killing. He suggested that it might be nice if, at the end of the game, you got to shake hands with all your enemies in the hospital. The way to circumvent this was to include the game's end credit sequence, which pointed out to the cast of characters as to highlight the artificial nature of its proceedings. Despite hesitation regarding the violent content of the Bond adventure, Nintendo approached Rare to develop a sequel following the game's success. Hollis and Rare's reply was, "We don't plan to make another Bond game from another Bond film." Rare instead went on to develop its spiritual successor, Perfect Dark, for the Nintendo 64, parting ways with the Japanese company in favor of Microsoft. Before parting ways with Nintendo in favor for Microsoft. GoldenEye 007 was later remade for the Nintendo DS, Wii, PS3, and 360. It was published by Activision and developed by Eurocom and N-Space. The original game was conspicuously absent from Rare's most recent release, Rare Replay, which arrived on Xbox One in August. This is very interesting, and wow, it goes to show how much Nintendo was more family friendly back in the day, and how crazy it is to think now that something like GoldenEye was a violent video game from what we see now. And we move on to the next article, this one by IGN and written by Alex Osborne. And it reads, No Man's Skies Hello Games denies surprise release this week. And it goes on to say, No Man's Sky won't be getting a surprise release this week, according to developer Hello Games. A rumor recently surfaced in which friends of VG247 are claiming PS4 owners could be in for a massive treat tomorrow, saying the game will release on PSN this week. Hello Games' Sean Murray has taken to Twitter to debunk this report. I heard that rumor that No Man's Sky is stealth releasing on October 27th is false. Sony will be hosting its PlayStation conference at Paris Games Week tomorrow, October 27th, at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, which is where I'm at, and 6 p.m. GMT. For all the details on how and where to watch it. Well, yeah, they're just talking about where to watch it on their website. I do believe No Man's Sky's release date will be in tomorrow's conference, which I will be covering. Not sure if I'll be able to do a video of it tomorrow. If it is, it would be late tomorrow. And if it's not that, it would be the next day, obviously. So it might be Wednesday whenever I dish out all of the news from Paris Games Week. But do feel excited for that, and it will be a very extensive video that I will put out for the Paris Games Week coverage. This next one coming from GameSpot, written by Tamar Hussein, and it reads, PS4 survey asks if you want to change the PSN ID. Many do. I don't have a problem with mine. I actually really like mine, Foxhound Soldier. Have more PS2 games? Yes, please. And custom backgrounds. Sony has sent out a survey asking PS4 users what they think are the most important features that should be added to the console. The survey was posted online by NeoGAF user Saint of Killers. Among the choices are the much requested features such as the ability to change your PSN name, custom backgrounds, and hide completely remove item from library function. That's something I wouldn't mind either, because you download betas, the beta's over, and then you still see that in your library, and certain demos after you buy the full game, I wouldn't mind being able to remove those. Also found on the list of options are PS1 classics, PS2 classics, indicating the platform holder may be gauging the demand for more re-releases. I really want some PS2 games on my PS4. I hate having to always go on my PS3 to do that. I have an old school PS3, which I can even, it has backwards compatibility on it, but I would so love to be able to do the same thing on PS4. One of the features mentioned, PlayStation Store wishlist, was added on October 23rd. Currently, the functionality is only accessible through the web version of PlayStation Store. It is unclear if or when it will be added to the console. The survey also asks when respondents expect PlayStation to release the next big system software update, update 4.0 with new features, with range of a time frame starting from before the end of 2015 and going up to 2017 or later, available to pick. On September 30th, okay, that just keeps on going. Alright, that just talks about how PS4 was the #1 console yet again sold. But yeah, I'll definitely be taking this survey, and hopefully, like I said, two features that I'm really excited for. I know everybody's excited to change their PSN name who did bad choices. Like I said, I love mine. I think I picked the perfect one for me, being a Metal Gear fan. But more PS2 games, and being able to remove stuff from my library that I don't use anymore, like betas and demos that I don't necessarily use anymore, or demos to games that I already have the full game for. So, very interesting. I hope they actually take some of the critiques and actually do something with it. This next one also from GameSpot, and it is written by Eddie McCutch. Sorry, text a little small. And it reads, canceled Darth Maul-centric Star Wars game wants a second chance. The developers behind the canceled Star Wars game that would have starred the nefarious Sith Lord Darth Maul now say they are planning to resurrect the title. In a recent Reddit AMA, Redfly Studio CEO and owner Dan Borth talked about the project and how it hopes it can eventually see the light of day. In the online Q&A session, Borth revealed that Redfly is currently working on a full next-gen demo of all things Darth Maul to show to the powers that be. He added, "It's been a lot of work on our off time." According to a 2014 report, the Darth Maul game was in development for Xbox 360, PS3, and Wii U. The new edition is presumably for new generation consoles, according to Borth's wording. Publishing giant Electronic Arts is the exclusive developer of Star Wars console games, meaning that the new Darth Maul project would presumably need to be greenlit through them. "We have been burning a candle for this game since it was killed in hopes that we can get it turned back on again," Borth added. "If that is to happen, we need to approach EA with a demo that will impress them. I think we have that or are close to that. Still, it's completely not up to us." The next Star Wars game, Star Wars Battlefront, focuses on the original film trilogy, not the prequels. These films were generally not well received as the originals, leading one fan to ask if a game featuring a prequel character like Darth Maul had a realistic shot at being made. "That's a fair point," Borth said. "I don't know what the chances are realistically. I would say this helps them if there were any. Hopefully EA will see the value in us reskinning our combat mechanic to be more in line with what they are thinking for Star Wars, if they are not interested in Maul." As for Redfly's overall aspirations for the Darth Maul game, Borth said you would play as a young Maul aged 9 to 11. The story would lead up directly before the events of Episode 1. "We wanted to show what he went through to become a Sith, showcase the torture the Emperor put him through, and show how you as a player would be made the same mistakes and ended up a Sith." Okay. Good for them. They seem to be pushing forward with this Darth Maul game. I wish the same could have been said for Star Wars 1313. That game looked incredible. Uncharted in space is like the best I can say about that game, and it really did look up to that level of game making. Alrighty, and that's all the stories I have for today. Now, this is where I wanted to go ahead and do a new segment that we'll probably be doing for Mondays and for the end of the video. And I want to do that for each video that I do at the end of a video, but different segments, obviously. And this segment is going to be pretty much a Kickstarter highlight, a project that I really like, that I want to put the spotlight on and show you a little bit of it and everything. And today is obviously going to be Friday the 13th, the game. Not only does it seem like it has a very interesting way of going about a video game, it also is being promoted by Adam Sessler, one of my favorite people in games media, and it's just really interesting what they're coming up with. It's these camp counselors that don't necessarily have to fight Jason. They can just work together and try to escape or make it through the night. And from what certain interviews of his said, it is very much like there are different maps. It's all in Camp Crystal Lake, but there's different sections of the big overall map. And I'm sure if they even reach bigger and better goals, that they will even add more maps, I'm sure. And I just want to make sure I have it all the way up to date, how much money they have. Right now they're at almost 530,000 of their 700,000 goal, and they have 18 days to go. And yeah, just check it out if you're a fan of Friday the 13th, or if you're a fan of this style of gameplay, which is, I think when I first talked about this, I said it kind of sounds like Evolve, but the more I look into it, I mean, it's an easy assumption to make, but it's probably not the right assumption to make, because, like I said, you don't necessarily even have to fight Jason, and it's kind of discouraging to do so, because he's supposed to be this overpowering being that can just kill you just like that. So it's more about escaping or surviving through the night, and worst case scenario, being able to set up a trap and kill Jason. But it'd have to be something very over the top, and it's not gonna be anything like finding a knife and jumping behind him and getting him, because, I mean, as we see in the movies, it takes a lot to kill him. So, that's gonna be the Kickstarter highlight for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. The gameplay today, I did a little bit of the arena, I believe it's called the Battle Arena in Infamous First Light. Obviously, I'm not super great at it, but it is really fun, and that was really my first time playing the arena part of that. Very beautiful game, too. I believe that was February of this year they had it for free on PlayStation Plus, and I immediately picked it up because I didn't have too many games on my PS4 yet. Very fun, beautiful game. Obviously, I didn't do too well on it, but that's my time. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please like it, subscribe to the show, share it with your friends, and have a great day.